Hello and welcome everybody to another Ask Joshino Anything, the show where you can ask me, Joshino, any question you so desire. And to get some channel updates out of the way, I don't really have that many updates this week. Basically, I've been getting out quite a few videos, and there's probably one video that's upcoming that I 100% want to do, and that's a rejig, like a remake of my cert guide for new players, because my old one is outdated now that there's been an update on Planetside 2. But I've got quite a lot of videos out, some tech ones, some about Halo 5, some about Starbound, some about Battlefield 1, and some about Planetside 2. So, I think we're doing okay. What do you all think? So, onto the questions. Dank Gnome asks, would you rather go with the PS4 or Xbox One? So, if you didn't know, I'm a PC gamer pretty much at heart, and I spent all my money on my PC, I guess. And if I was to buy a console, it'd be the PS4 now, and that'd be purely for the PS4 exclusives because there's just more games that I want to play on there. With the Halo 5 Forge coming to PC, and hopefully things will start moving across to the Windows 10 ecosystem, and Microsoft seem to be interested in trying to pull everything over onto their own, to computers, I guess. But yeah, if it was a console, it'd be the PS4, but just because of the exclusives, not because of power or anything, because obviously I have the power in my PC. Ibrophy says, is this the series where I can ask you any question? And yes, I can confirm that that is correct. Turboxide says, seriously, what is that hat on the NC guy in the thumbnail? And I don't know either, so maybe somebody can comment on it here because I'm going to put it in the thumbnail again. So, on the left hand side of the thumbnail, what NC helmet is that? We need to know. Sultana Razia says, nice video Joshino, what are the specs of your PC? So I'll be linking a full specs list in the description below and the video I did making my computer, but at its core it's a GTX 970, the Intel i5 4690K, and it's overclocked at 4.2 GHz and 16 GB of RAM, and that's probably the most important part you need to know regarding gaming. But yeah, there'll be a link below to the specs, and unfortunately MSI took back their review copy of the 1060, so I'm slightly less powerful than I once was. Spooksy wants to know how to not get constantly shot in Planetside 2. The core idea is that in Planetside 2, there's so many players that cover is really important in the game, and making sure that people aren't looking at you. And to do that, you need to be aware on the map of where everyone is looking, and that's not easy. That's not an easy feat, but it's all about peeking from behind cover and having a little looking where people are firing at, working out where everybody's attention is. You can look on the map as well and see where your allies are, where the enemies are, and you've just got to kind of guess at where their focus is. So getting behind people is all about guessing where they're looking and what their focus is on, and doing the opposite and getting behind them, basically. But the more people at a fight, the easier you are to be spotted by several people, like maybe 10 people would see you at once. So yeah, really, you just got to be keeping in cover, moving from cover, and moving once people have spotted you, and guessing where people's focus is going to be, and trying to avoid being in that area. Ben Heisenberg on Twitter says, what tips do you have for new commentators on YouTube? So I did talk about the idea of tags and getting noticed and sharing your videos last week, but the bare bones of it are just do a video, and you just need to learn from doing, I guess. What I'd say is either write a script of what you want to say or write several bullet points. If you're going to write a script, just remember that when you're writing, it's different to what you'd be able to speak. So whenever you write something, go back to it and try and read it out aloud to yourself before you go for the full record. And sometimes it's best not to even use full stops or commas and just put spaces everywhere. Just how your mind would think about reading that script. And all it is practice makes perfect, and training your voice, not in the way that changing your voice, but that you pronounce everything at the right time and for the right effect. And that only really comes naturally in that when you're reading it, you think, actually, this word needs to be pronounced like so. So, for example, like if you're saying at the end of a sentence that something is epic, you're going to say it's epic. It's not, yeah, it's epic. It's epic. It's all little things, and knowing when to stop and start, and all you can do really is learn from doing. So get out there, put a video out. The first one might be rubbish, but mine was too, and you just improve from there. I keep meaning to make a video for starting out YouTube, going over pretty much all the basics, and I need to do that, and hopefully that'll cover in more depth what people ask for as a YouTube content creator, and I really do want to do that. Maybe I'll try and aim to do that by this week, I guess. The Banana Order says, Stargate Atlantis is what you're looking for, about humans contacting aliens, and it's on Netflix and is a really cool series, you should watch it. Yeah, I have actually watched most of Stargate Atlantis, if not all of it, and Stargate SG-1, I do love that. Last week I basically asked for human to alien contact, so it was like a reverse contact. Instead of aliens making contact with humans, it was humans making contact with aliens. I wanted to know about shows, but yeah, I didn't think about that actually. The Stargate series is pretty much just that, although all the aliens are humans, or humanoid. Tristan says, hey Josh, have you got time to be implicated in VIB? Do you think you'll sometime join or create an NC/TR outfit? I don't think I 100% have time to be in a full outfit and do ops and things like that. I'll come along to things when I'm invited or if I'm free, but I don't have that much time to commit, and I probably put most of my time into videos at the moment. And yeah, I don't think I could commit to a serious outfit. I don't know whether I'll create one on NCTR. Maybe I will, just as like a token thing if people want to join it for a little while before they move on to a serious outfit. Otherwise, I don't know whether I'll just join an outfit as like a token thing, maybe just to have access to their platoons that they run. But I don't know. I'm open to suggestions on outfits in Planetside 2. Fernby asks, just wondering what type of camera do you shoot your vlogs with? And it was a Panasonic Lumix G6. Basically I got that because it's got a switch camera on the front, so the camera can be rotated and flipped out to the side, and then you can look at yourself in the video. Obviously you don't want to do that when you're filming because then you'll look weird because you're looking away from the camera, but it just helps to know if you're in focus or not, even though last week's was out of focus because the autofocus was going crazy. SMania123 asked, what is the highest rank for Planetside 2? And it's 120. It's an easy one to answer. King New Life asked what was the first gun shown in last week's episode, and that was the Fortuna, and it's the NC directive weapon that you earn through the directives completed with other weapons. Neon X asks, vote Trump, ? And for me, no. I think that Trump's pretty much a sociopath that's only interested in himself. It's not even his right-wing ideology and the sometimes extreme views he has. It's the fact that I don't trust the guy. I'm fairly sure that his number one is himself. But then again, Hillary Clinton isn't much better either, with some very dodgy election tactics in the Democrat election, and the email debacle where she wasn't even charged for it or nothing happened. I mean, any other worker would be severely punished for anything similar. So, Americans, you haven't got much of a good choice, so sorry about that. It's just a shame about Bernie Sanders, eh? Al Saderi K says, I ordered my MSI GTX 1070 with an i5 6600K. Will it run Planetside 2 fine, even with the performance issues? That rig should work fine with Planetside 2, and if you do lag, it's because of performance hitches rather than your equipment, really. Dash the Great says, Joshino, would you be interested in joining me for a few games of Overwatch? I haven't really been playing much Overwatch recently. I don't know why, it never captured me the same way it has other people like Lone Hawk, which, congratulations, has 100,000 subscribers now. But I'll put my Battlenet ID in the description below, and then people can just add me, and then if I'm on, then maybe I'll just join in with you. Hunter Whitcomb says, Joshino, what do you look like? And I'm sure you would have seen last week, so there we are. But this week you can only imagine. Borazen says, do you play it on PS4? As I don't have a PS4, I don't play games on PS4. Jagdi Panda, the Bean Man, says, Joshino, do you have any idea when consoles will get balanced? I mean, we don't have any of these. Construction system, vehicle hacking, and even more on console. On the PC version, there's not vehicle hacking yet, and a lot of the things I've shown on the test server haven't come through, like the rocklet rifle and things like that. So the things that you haven't got on the PS4 server are the construction system, which the devs keep testing, but I think there's only a small dev team, and I think there's performance issues on the PS4, and there's no ETA. Fortunately, Daybreak are being very tight-lipped about that. On other changes though, like this new player buff, I reckon that'll probably be fairly quickly coming to the PS4 if it hasn't already, I'm not too sure. Basically, the PS4 update system, they have to put it through Sony first, and that could take weeks or more, so there's always a delay with updates on that side. Tax Tick says, here's one, have you shot an assault rifle or any actual gun? I've only ever shot off an air rifle and a shotgun, being that I come from a farming background, although I don't particularly care for it anymore. And for me, shooting down a range or something like that isn't very fun. I like paintballing, and I probably like airsoft too, but I just don't have the equipment and haven't invested in it, I guess. But I just see that firing down a range isn't that fun. It'd just be like archery for me, just firing down a range at a target. It's not the same as like playing a game, I guess, like playing Battlefield or whatever, where you have opponents, which obviously with an assault rifle or whatever, you couldn't do that in real life. But paintballing and airsoft are the next best step, and they're quite fun. Brian P. Kun says, are you still having financial troubles, or have you settled everything? At the moment, I'm still not in a great place, but just to give you context, I don't have a job at the moment. I was made redundant quite a few months ago now, but YouTube money-wise is bringing in about £200, and that's with the Patreon a month, which isn't great, but because I'm living at home still, which I don't really want to be in this situation for much longer, but I can sort of scrape through and still be able to do things that I guess keep me happy. But I can't really buy any new hardware or games or anything, and I have to save up for anything that I want to come that I really want, so Battlefield 1's on my list. In reality, it's not sustainable, but for now, everything that everybody does by watching my videos and donating on Patreon and PayPal and whatever are keeping me going. He's keeping me afloat, so I'm honestly, from the bottom of my heart, massively. I know I say it quite often, but yeah, you guys are awesome. The captain says, do you play Arma 3? And I haven't got Arma 3. I played Arma 1 and 2 to varying degrees, like little bits here and there, but I haven't actually gotten into Arma 3. Anyway, thank you all very much for the questions. Be sure to put your question for next week in the comments section below if you have one. And make sure to put a question mark behind it, because sometimes people write sentences that are slightly ambiguous whether they want it to be answered or whether it's a question or just a statement. So if you do want it to be a question, put a question mark on the end of it and I'll read it out and put it into the episode. If you like what you saw, give it a like. If you thought it was rubbish, give it a dislike. And subscribe for more Joshino. Thank you all very much for watching. Until next time, Blosh Blino.